All right, we got Why Are Young Men Not Working from Gerber's Void. All right, this video popped up in my feed and I was like, oh, this could be interesting. Let me see.
Gerbil. Yeah, right. Garby's getting lit like a box of matches. Thought that she was loyal, she gets passed around like soccer practice. I always keep my frame, call me Roger Rabbit. Even when a plane hit the towers, that was awfully tragic. I've been lost in a labyrinth while the onlookers are watching, gawking and laughing. I'm eating chicken wings, I'm going insane.
Damn.
Morning sunrise. Hopefully it doesn't get claimed. Okay.
What up?
Wow, Gerby's back. If you'll consult the graph that I'm about to pull up on the video here, if you're listening, that's fine, I'll explain it. The labor force participation rate amongst men has been steadily declining.
Oh boy, look at this. 1950. It's all the way up here at like over 85%. And then as time goes on, just down, still trending down. Because honestly, even if you look at pick, like, I guess these gray chunks, these gray lines indicate some sort of like, there's like a big drop off right here. But like, if you look inside these like white chunks, like Jesus, like what the fuck happened here? Like if you look like right here, like in like maybe like a year or something, like from year to year, you would think that this is completely fine. But you zoom out and you get a big old retrospective on the past, what is it, 70 years? It's just so well, and also the graph is kind of misleading because the bottom starts at like 65% and at the top it's like 90%, so it's whatever. It's just down. Like, what the hell happened over here in 20? Oh, that was the thing that happened. Yeah, I remember. Jesus, what a day, what a year. Yeah, it's just down, dude. I mean, and then it slowly grew a little bit, but I don't think we're ever getting back up to like 85%, dude. What are we chilling at? Like just under 70%, over somewhere between 65 and 70%.
For quite a long time now. And the opposite is true with women.
Oh.
So what's going on here?
Oh, what's happening? It's up stonks. But wait, why do women chart start at like 30% and it's up at like 65%? So it's like the men petered out at about 65 to 70% and the women are like petering out. Well, the women's are what is this? Between 55 and 60%. So it's more or less 50-50 in terms of work and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I would like my knee-jerk reaction would be like, oh, that's feminism, blah. That's what happened. But I think it's more than just feminism, dude. It's it's literally just the environment and the culture that we're in America, where if you want to participate in society and you want to like have all of the cool amenities that society has to offer, like smartphones, internet, computers, being able to like do content creation, have AC, have a house, have a car, insurance, and all this other shit. You can't really rely on one person's income anymore. Like, you need to have your own income. Which is like, you go back 50 to 70 years and it wasn't really the case, A traditional family, literally depended on like the man's salary to take care of like, himself, the wife, the two kids, and then, you're chilling. But nowadays, it seems Bro, just two people living with each other and each person having a job, depending on what kind of house they have, even that could not be enough. You know, if you got like, I don't know, some house that's like somewhere between 150 and 300K, you know, somewhere in there, and you're making, I don't know, 40, 50K a year, I mean, I guess that would be like average, I think.
What the hell? What are these guys doing? Just whacking off, playing on their iPods,
Yeah,
gooning on the smoking their jewelers,
the jewel.
playing their Clash of Royale. What are these dumbass Zoomer guys doing?
Yeah, just stop yourself from saying retarded. These
These are the
retards.
questions. Why are men dropping out of the labor force? This is what I wanted to talk about.
Also, I don't really know. And this is another thing, because there will always be like a need for like physical labor jobs that, for the most part, you compare like a man's physical capabilities versus a woman's like physical capabilities. Um, you're gonna get more bang for your buck out of the dude, physical labor worker, than you will the woman. Like you just will. Um, and it's not like construction is like going away. There's always construction going on, making roads, houses, buildings, so on and so forth. Like everyone's always making houses and roads and contracts and shit. That stuff is not really going away, or at least not like I can't see it around me. There's fucking construction fucking everywhere. Jesus Christ. Um. So in terms of like industry, I don't really see that part going away. But to be honest, those physically demanding jobs like construction or anything like adjacent to it, where it's like electrician, plumber, anything like physically demanding, uh, those jobs for the most part, I bet if you were to ask the people, if you won the lotto, would you quit? They would all say yes. All right. There may be a couple people that like really enjoy their job, but I would bet for the most part, if any one of them won the lottery, they would just quit the next day. That's what I would guess.
Uh, I got some thoughts on my chest. That's what this is here for.
All right.
Um, so that's what's about to happen. You gotta ask. You gotta ask what's going on here, and this is a well observed phenomenon. I was gonna pull up an article and kind of read through it, but we all know this is going on.
Yeah.
There's a book about it, Men Without Work. There's a growing sets of data, all describing this situation. So why? Because a lot of the reasons I'm hearing why are a bunch of hoopla. The first thing is the job market is pretty tough.
All the AI robots are taking my jobs. Yep.
So people are in a state of unemployment for a longer time, and after kind of dealing with there's an oversaturation, right? Lots of people getting these degrees, scrambling for these same sort of cushy tech, finance, these sort of white collar positions that'll offer close to six figs, or six figures right out of university.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That is the path of least resistance. And when you give somebody the option to either choose a trade type of job or go to college to go be an accountant or something like that, and that offers six figures and you're chilling in AC, you're on a computer, I would bet that most people would choose the accountant type job. Not to say that accounting or anything like that is easy, all right? I'm sure there's like parts of it that are, pretty hard and stressful and shit like that. But given the demands of either mental stress or physical stress, people would probably, I would bet, go with like, I'm gonna go with mental stress over physical stress. That's what would be my guess.
And the way the job market's been digitized and globalized, you can actually kind of compare it to online dating. The way LinkedIn works and all this shit. These listings, people want to work remote. There's all these applications coming in,
Hmm.
and the requirements for the pay get a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah,
Um,
I need you to have a master's degree, to be like, to have this random ass tech position. Okay, dude, no problem. You have to have 4 years of experience. Okay. How do I get the experience? Well, you had to have worked somewhere else, and then you look at the other place, and it's the same. This is the same issue that I had when I was like actually out looking for a random ass like job that was anything else besides like crew member or team member or any sort of title like that. It's like you need to have experience. How do I get the experience? You had to have worked somewhere else where that position requires you to have experience, and essentially, you just need to know a guy or know a girl. You need to know somebody to get your first foot in the door. Yeah, and that's really fucked up.
and some of the listings are just straight up fake. You'll put your information in, and then they just sell it. They're trying to steal it and sell your information. Bunch of, I was about to say there might be Indian, but who knows what they are, right? So that's what's going on there. And then there's also the whole deal where artificial intelligence might just come in and take all those bitches in a couple years anyway, and then you'll be.
Honestly, I think all the AI jobs everyone's like fearing that will take over, or like all the jobs that AI can potentially take over, are, I would say, most chiefly creative type jobs. And creative type jobs aren't exclusive to men or women. That's, it's not like men are more creative than women or women are more creative than men. uh, it's like, look at the industries of music, art, animation, photography. Pick whatever, and it's gonna be like some sort of a creative job. AI will probably take that over. There, it just will.
Going, oh no. So there's that, but that doesn't explain everything
Yeah.
because we also have we have data now that shows men aren't just in a current state of unemployment. They're just not even trying or looking at all. They're just not doing shit. They're fully neat, not in education or employment. So it doesn't explain it all. There's something there, but we gotta dig deeper.
Hmm.
Next thing that you'll hear a lot from older generations is they go, "Oh, well, this new generation of men, they're just lazy. They're just a little bit gay. They don't have a work ethic. They're addicted to their, they have a escapism media." And look, there's some truth to this. I'm not even gonna say
Yeah, there is some truth to that, but there is also truth to that older generation also having like some sort of escapism, because you could easily say, for every like old person that says some dumb shit like that, you could easily say, well, why aren't you a fucking CEO of a business? Why are you still bumming around in this dog shit low tier position, loser? Right? Why haven't you like ascended to like the CEO position or the chief position of whatever industry that you're in? You're just as lazy as me. Stupid. Yeah, do not let these people like get away with saying dumb shit like that.
that's like a completely false observation. It's more like that's the effect rather than the cause. It's not like this whole generation is born, completely inept and lazy. These things happen over time,
Hmm.
and the our sort of relationship with escapism is a reaction rather than the catalyst. So it doesn't get to the core issue. And the core issue, of course, is the incentive structure. Is the juice worth the squeeze? That's what you really got to ask yourself, because the real reason why young men are choosing not to work, provided they can do so while still being able to feed themselves and have shelter. I mean, even then, some might choose to actually be vagrants, but provided they can, and they can, somehow get by or leech off other people or get benefits or some shit.
Yeah.
Provided they can do that, they will. Well, not every man, but a growing amount of men will do that. And here's the reason why. Yeah.
So wait, are you kind of implying that the homeless situation in America is going to get worse and worse? I mean, because if I were to guess, most men that are not working, they're probably to some degree still living at their parents or living somewhere, maybe not with their parents, maybe with a friend or something. And maybe they're like not too much of a burden. Maybe they're not taking up too much resources, but just enough to like just live. So they're not really homeless. I would probably say it's more of a gray area in there if I were to guess. But I could also easily see that, once that person taking care of that man or whatever gets sick and tired, then it would just become well, you gotta go somewhere else. You gotta do something else because you can't stay here with me. I could easily see that just as easy.
You have to pinpoint the reasons why men work. And I've thought of three things.
Well, men, I don't really see an extreme difference in why anybody shouldn't work. Like I said before, if you want to enjoy smartphones, the gym, a car, internet, streaming services, entertainment, like modern entertainment, or you know what I mean, then those things cost money, and you got to do whatever you got to do to make money. I don't think there is any reason that is going to be exclusive to men that women cannot also ascribe to. Because for the most part, I mean, what? Like, you're going to say, like, what? Women don't like the amenities of society, so therefore they don't need to work? That don't make sense. So I think any reason a man chooses to work could easily be like applied to like why a woman chooses to work. Well, women like phones, women like TV shows, women like cars and houses and shit like that. I will acknowledge that, if you're a hot enough woman, you could just, cling on to a man to like find a man to take care of you. Yeah, you got that option. But that option really isn't available to men. And a lot of women just don't even want to just have anything to do with like starting a relationship with a man anymore, to be honest. Like, yeah, you might be down to like have like a friends with benefits type of deal, but as far as like doing like the whole marriage thing, what's the marriage divorce rate? Isn't it like 50% at least or something like that? So it's like, okay, you still like all these modern amenities that society has to offer you, but you got to work.
The first is that the job itself can provide a sense of purpose. It can be enjoyable. It can be helpful. The second thing is to provide for a family, for women, basically, for women, for children. The third is for money. And when I say money, it's like a chance at financial freedom, at building actual wealth.
Yeah, but nobody's going to be building actual wealth at these low tier positions at like work at McDonald's, work at Walmart, work at Publix, whatever. Any sort of like, you're not building any sort of real wealth. You're merely working from paycheck to paycheck. That's what I would argue.
Rather than a means to just get by. Because as I said, if they can do that without the job, they'll just get by. So these three things. And there's a balance here. So if your job is not fulfilling, and if you don't have a family, you better be making a lot of money.
I would say most jobs are not fulfilling at all. I don't think it's fulfilling at all to be. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like I could be in the minority for this, but like any sort of like crew, if your position is like crew member or team member or associate, like sales associate, I could be wrong and I could be way off base, but I'm gonna speak for myself. I wouldn't really derive a lot of fulfillment out of that, but that's just me. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I don't know.
If you don't make a lot of money, you better have a family to provide for, and you better like the job. There's a balance here. But what you'll find now is that all three of these things are deteriorating now. So the incentive structure for men to work, provided they can without starving, isn't there. Let's get into it. You say, okay, most people don't enjoy their job that much. They're not
Yeah.
super excited about it. They're not doing something they're super passionate about.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Not everybody needs to, people say this about school. They're like, oh, it just teaches you to work.
Yeah.
It doesn't teach you to like fucking make your
Like start a business and be creative and how to design products and be like make the next new smartphone, make the next new app.
own path, be an entrepreneur. It's like that's the way it has to be. For every entrepreneur, for every boss, there needs to be dozens of workers. So that's what school should be. It should teach you how to work. It should teach you how.
That's what it should be. I don't know. I think school should teach you how to participate in society. But I mean, if we just go off of what you're saying, school should teach you how to be a worker. This is the situation that we are already in with current public school education. So, trying to determine if that statement is right or wrong, I mean, that statement right there has gotten us to where we are at currently. So, maybe we have to rethink that potentially.
How to be a wagey.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, a brokey.
Fine. Most people aren't lucky enough to have a job that they love doing.
Yep.
That's okay. But at least what you could ask for is a job that's like even in the abstract, helpful or serves a purpose.
Tolerable. You have to have a job that you're tolerant of, that you can withstand the stress of. If your job is super mentally stressful, you need to be able to mentally withstand it. If your job is physically stressful, you need to be able to physically withstand it. A job's purpose, like any given job, doesn't require you to be happy about it. That's not the purpose of a job, is to provide you fulfillment. The purpose of a job is to just give you money. You need to find your own happiness for like through other means.
What you'll find now, and people have done surveys on this, there's a book called BS Jobs as well. About half the jobs, people can't even conceive why it's helpful. There are all these government positions, all these filler positions in companies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like adult daycare.
Yeah.
And the way the hourly wage system works.
I mean, we saw the culling of the almost the entirety of Twitter when Elon took that shit over. So, yeah, I would agree with adult daycare, but certain companies would like to trim the fat off of that even.
Works. You're just going there. You might only be doing work for a small percentage of the time you're at work. Send a couple emails. You go to the building. You're doing a Zoom meeting in the building, and you're just a little cuck. You're sitting in this chair. You're beholden to all these HR, all these hoes in the HR department.
What the?
So it's kind of fruity, but it's all good. So this is what you'll find. I mean, people say, oh, getting a job, at least you're not sitting down all day. That's like half the job is you're dead ass. You're on baby. You're just sitting down all day.
Yeah.
Barely even doing shit. So the jobs themselves are like fake, a lot of them. And the jobs that aren't, there are some blue collar jobs. You're working with your hands like a man.
Yep.
You're hitting the oil fields.
Yeah. You're hitting the coal mines.
That's okay, but we'll get into the problems with that later. Um, so yeah, the first thing is the jobs themselves aren't fulfilling, and also there's this idea where you work for the economy as a whole. You're serving a position, you're contributing, you're doing it all, paying your taxes, being a contributing member of society.
Yeah.
Well, men and people in general, but I guess you could say maybe specifically young men, are beginning to realize like the culture hates them, the society hates them, and in general, people the
I could understand that if, because that's the vibe I get whenever I sit down in front of my computer and I boot up my YouTube and it's just littered with like woke or anti-woke, this, that, or the other video. Like this entire industry hates young male gamers. The gaming industry hates young male gamers. The movie industry hates young male moviegoers. The streaming service TV show industry hates young male movie watchers, and so on and so forth. And it's very easy to believe that if you were like, I don't know, 18, 19, 20ish, and this, you were just like grew up with the internet being like pretty decent, or if like you're, I don't know, maybe like an iPad kid or something like that, it's very easy for me to believe that young men could have these thoughts. But that, I don't really think that's the case, because I mean, with the job that I have, that's not the vibe that I get. I don't want to say what job I have, but I mean, that's here nor there. But I just have to say that is the like, I get the whole American culture hates young men, blah blah blah. I get it.
the curtain is being lifted that the ruling structure, the government, you know, whatever, our officials, people are beginning to really, especially now, realize they don't care. They don't care about it. They seem to be more interested in diddling children. And like, 5 years ago, it'd just be like a little joke saying that, like, oh, that's funny. There might be some truth to it. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
kind of just, that's actually what's happening. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And they're beholden to all these other interests. They're sending billions of dollars all the way around the world. People's houses are getting wiped out. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, with the most recent hurricane that it just passed, yeah, like, it is very surreal to have like a hurricane coming near you, at potentially Cat 4, but when it made landfall, it was like Cat 3 or something. So like, oh god, thank God. But like for like the days leading up and like the hours leading up, like I would still just do my normal routine of like bumming around on YouTube, and to see that everyone's just doing their normal thing, making their normal videos, and it's like, it's kind of surreal and also chilling to, I don't know, to and this is gonna sound whiny, to see that nobody else gives a fuck about you, where you are at, what environmental hazards are coming down on you, if it's a hurricane going through Florida, if it's tornadoes coming down through Tornado Alley, if it's earthquakes going on in California, or fires creeping onto people's houses. It's just chilling, because I can understand that, like relative to America, it's very easy to like not give a fuck about what's going on in any other country, but like when shit is happening in America, it's like, damn, that's like a state. It's like closer, like it's still like out of the realm of like tangibility, because like if some shit is happening in a different country, there's a shitload of degrees of separation that I can like put in my head, between like caring and not caring. Uh, but when it's like something happened in America, it's like the degrees of separation. It's like, oh shit, that's like a couple thousand miles away. Oh shit.
They don't care. And this is, I'm talking about America because I'm American, but you can
Yeah.
extrapolate to this to other countries. It's the same. It's the same dealio if you get down and dirty with it. But I'm not going to get down and dirty with it because that's not the point of this video. But yeah, general contribution to the society, dude. People don't, you can't even blame young people for being very skeptical about that idea. I'm not sure my tax dollars are going to my roads and schools.
Probably a percentage is, but like once you break the entirety of your dollar down, you'd probably be surprised at how much is like going towards your immediate surroundings versus like your not immediate surroundings. So, yeah.
The curtain's been lifted, right? So there's that. The jobs themselves, a lot of them are fake. And the second reason, the women, the dating market. So you work, if you're going into the workforce, you would already have a family, or you would have good prospects to create a family, good relationship prospects long term. Men don't have that. Relationships, they just don't last. If
Yeah.
you,
I mean, they can last, but if you just do a little appeal to history or anything like that, you just it's not looking good. I'll say that much. It's not looking good.
if you enter the workforce as an adult, without a relationship, like how do you meet people on the weekends, on these like events? What online dating? I mean, it's just a disaster.
Yeah.
You know,
I've never been to one of those like dating events because if I were to guess, like I've seen some videos, but it just the vibe I get is like women will just kind of sniff out the most, I don't know, financially successful slash kind of attractive guy, and they'll kind of migrate there, but still leave their options kind of open to some of the other guys if they're not the one for that one guy. But it's like it's
most people need to meet in school or at work itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, even if you're an attractive guy, I mean, the data just backs up what I'm saying. Nobody's getting married. Relationships just break apart so fast. They're chaotic. They're fast. It's just like it's not working in all these cities now. The dating scene, it always just turns into a fucking nightmare. Even if you're an attractive, successful guy, you get in the door. You know, the girls, they like you. You have W Riz. You're kind of like a Duke Dennis archetypal character.
Who the hell is Duke Dennis? I am so lost on this one. Oh man. But understandably, it's very easy to say that if you watch a lot of like those dating videos or have seen any of those I don't know, Fresh and Fit clips or anything like that, where it's just like women deserve less and all the people that are adjacent to them and whatnot. It's very easy to say that, but I would probably just go off of your own personal experience instead of a group like saying all women are the same.
Right? You walk up in the place and the hose drip wet.
What?
Right? Let's say that's what happens. Even then you got your foot in the door, which a lot of guys don't have that.
Yeah. Most guys, that is the finish line, getting the foot in the door, because that's all you need. Most guys don't even know how to get the foot in the door. They just like door slam in the face, and they're just like, oh, okay. Okay, why am I doing this? Why am I getting rejected over and over again? What's the point of this? It's too much. I don't feel like getting rejected over and over again. And I go to the gym and I look like halfway decent and I still get rejected. Tons of times. And there's been a ton of times where I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. What am I doing? Of course I get those thoughts. I'm not the most fucking charismatic dude. Easy. But there's a lot of people that just don't even go to the gym to like work on themselves, and I have no idea how some of these dudes get like any chick, really. It's just a big brain buster to me.
They seem to just be kind of destitute, but even if you're an attractive guy, you're a Chad, your chances of starting a family, of having an actual successful, life partnership are low. And on the long term, having this stability, having a loving home to go home to,
Mm-hmm.
children who love you, a partner who loves you, this is what keeps you going, working over long horizons of time. And the data also shows the Gen Z turnover rate is exceptionally high. They're getting they're just running through jobs quicker. They're getting fired a lot more.
Yeah, because what was it? I saw some video where it was like it's more beneficial for you to have like multiple jobs than for you to try to take on more hours at a single job if you want more money. So yeah, I 100% agree to that.
And it's just because it's just this extended adolescence, because that's really what makes someone an adult is kind of having kids of their own. That seems to be what it is.
Nope. You are wrong about that. I see tons of adults that are dog shit parents. Okay, this is a meme. Just because you have kids does not make you an adult. All right. There are tons of parents that probably would never admit they regret having their kids. Easily. Oh, god dang it. How many times have you ever heard someone go, never get married, never have kids? That is a literal admission that they regret what they did. All right? Read the room. There are tons of adults that have kids that are unhappy, and they are simply one toilet paper roll being put in the wrong way from killing themselves. It's not everybody. There's a lot of people that have kids and they like their lives and whatnot, but there's also a lot of people that are just like so stressed out that they're just one thing away from just ending it.
I'm sure you've seen these heartwarming videos of these this guy. He's driving home. He's like, I work hard. These long days, every day, and I'm tired at the end. And he's weeping, and he drives into his garage, and his little daughter comes out of the door, and she hugs him, and he's like, "This is why I do it." And you go, damn. And then you go, wait, why are people are working so hard just to go home to an empty crib?
Mm-hmm.
For what? Like, when you really zoom out, it's like you're just working for what? When you're not providing for someone, you go, wait, so what's actually the fucking point?
I would guess that to some degree there is some level of hedonism going on. People, while they might not like enjoy providing for other people, they just enjoy providing for themselves. Are you yourself not worth working for? Does your own personal happiness not matter? Like as long as you're not like engaging with some sort of vice that like harms another person or anything like that, what's wrong with like just working for yourself, providing for yourself? are you not good enough? I know that's not what you said, but that's, kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like, what's wrong with just having some hobbies and like just living life?
Now you're just a cog because your relationships are kind of what makes your life value. That's kind of what makes you a person. So if you just work and you go home alone, you're not, you're like you are actually a cog in the machine, homie. So that's just me spitting on some G shit. So put a comment down below if I hit that. No family, no bitches,
Yeah.
and the jobs are fake. And finally, money. You say, okay, well, you work for money. And not just money as in, like money as in a chance to actually build wealth, to save, to invest, to build yourself a future where you can retire and be free. Well, this, it turns out for this generation, is also a total farce because our money is being indefinitely and constantly inflated.
Oh yeah, that's
And
true.
that, no matter, there's a lot of gaslighting going on. That's not good. That's not normal. That's not part of any beneficial economic system for the people. It's actually a product of a predatory banking cartel. Real talk. So that's just what it is. The purchasing power of the currency we are working for isn't worth anything.
Uh, yeah. I mean, it's not worth nothing, but the value of it is just, I don't know, seemingly going slightly down, but it's not like immediately down. It's like that big graph you showed in the beginning. It's like over a 70-year span that it just trends down. You can't really see it like in your immediate, like in front of you. It's only upon retrospection, like zooming out at the big picture, that you see it's like, oh shit, I'm under so much financial duress and I couldn't even see it. You know, bro, like just what was it? Yesterday, I went to like Five Guys and ordered some stuff, and what I get? I got like two. I got like one regular burger and two littles, and like a large fry. And I was like, and it came out to like 40 something dollars. I was like, holy shit! This when was Five Guys so expensive? And granted, this isn't like I don't go to Five Guys often, so I'm not like seeing the price trend in front of my face every damn time. It's like once every 6 months, I'll be like, oh yeah, let's go to Five Guys. And bro, like the last time I went to Five Guys, they loaded that bag up with French fries, and I was like, damn, that's a lot. So like from the last time, I was like, oh, should I probably get like a small or a medium, knowing that they're gonna like fill the whole bag up with fries? But I had to think again and be like, well, I guess with the current trend of fast food, the burgers and patties are getting smaller, the fries are getting smaller, portion sizes are getting smaller, the prices are increasing. I should probably get a large. And even with the large fry, like they filled the cup up, but there wasn't like there's like maybe I don't know, like a half a scoop in the bag with how they used to do it. Because before I would get like a medium fry, and they would like just shove fries. Like I was like, damn, it's so many fries. But now it's like even like trying to get fries out of a large is like it's like pulling teeth. I was like, damn, this shit, it's not even worth it to go like eat out anymore. It's just not, dude. And what's really sad is that a lot of people can't even cook for themselves anymore. Like whatever money that people do get, they go to like they just Uber shit. Uber Eats it or Postmates it or whatever your little food service is. It's like people just are just simply choosing to order out more. And I'm like, how do you guys do this? Fuck.
And the path for financial freedom for this generation is such a thin line to walk. They say, you know, you save up, you have to have an emergency fund, you scrounge
emergency fund of 6 months of your current I don't know, paycheck or whatever, like 6 months of your yearly salary. Let me see. I've been working at this job for about 6 years, and I still don't have 6 months of emergency fund. All right. Still not 6 months of emergency. I'm coming close, kinda, for that little 6 month emergency fund, but it took me 6 years to get it. And I am pretty frugal as it is. Well, I'm not entirely frugal. Like, I do have some vices, but I don't know.
what you can at the end of every month. You put it in a Roth IRA in your 20s. You get that money to work for you. It builds up compound interest. 40 years later, with the compound interest, you keep on adding to the Roth IRA. You can withdraw it without taxes when you're 59 and a half. Then you'll be a tax-free millionaire. Sounds great. This is what a lot of boomers did if they were privy to what was good for them. I think it's very naive to think we'll have that same opportunity.
Yeah.
In many ways. I mean, I don't even know that the inflation's just going to continue it's going to continue getting worse. So I don't even know if it's going to like barely beat it out.
I think the vibe I'm getting from this video is like very like philosophical doomer coming to grips with it. And I actually had like multiple episodes that were like this, where like life is meaningless, this is stupid, why even engage with it at all? So it's like all these thoughts are 100% valid. And I think it's good that he's just getting them out here on the camera. This is good.
One of the good endings is in 40 years, $1 million, even if I'm a tax-free millionaire, $1 million will be like a down payment for a shitty house in Arkansas. More than likely, in 40 fucking years, in this, with you know the path the trajectory we're going on, I picture myself like wandering a jungle, a toxic wasteland jungle with a machete and a gun. I'll be the last white man alive. And I'll have a robot leg. And I'll have developed some sort of a psychotic relationship with a fake doll girlfriend.
You'll develop cyberpsychosis from all the cybernetics implanted in your brain. And you have to carry around your fuck doll girlfriend.
Strapped to my back. 40 years? Give me a break. And like, I really don't think boomers thought like this. I think their outlook for the future was much more optimistic. And that really gets to the bottom of the problem. You really can't blame young people now for thinking like, what future? What future do we have? You know,
Nope.
unless the Fed is abolished or whatever, then people will be able to build wealth. But and that's
the Fed is abolished. What, like the federal something is abolished? I'm not sure.
That's just like one problem of many.
Yeah.
So you know, the money just keeps on getting more and more worthless, and the assets that you would invest in to build more wealth, you just get priced out of.
It seems to
And
be
the ultimate example of one of these would be real estate. Young people just can't get in the door now with that sort.
Oh yeah, because that's the one repeating concept that I see everybody getting into. Like, invest in real estate, invest in land. Land, like, there's only so much amount of land that exists on the planet. It is what it is, and it's not like land is getting cheaper. I mean, last time I checked, the U.S. or not the U.S. The Earth's population is still going up because whatever little worries that Americans have, they fail in comparison to the rest of the world.
Sort of thing. So that's why people look at this situation and they go, okay, I can't take the traditional route. I gotta do my own thing, start my own business. This is where you get all these red pill marketing tactics, drop
Yeah.
shipping, crypto,
Yeah.
motherfucking, use AI to start 14 bots that scrounge. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Start trying to be an influencer. And a lot of
Yeah, just make an AI female influencer and do everything like that. Just become a female influencer using AI. That's the best bet.
this stuff is unreliable. A lot of this stuff is a scam. But people are saying, hey, I'm still going to give it a whirl because you know what? What isn't a scam? Working all my life to still not to be able to afford anything while not even having any real relationship prospects in a job that I can't even abstractly conceive who I'm helping or what I'm doing, for a civilization that's collapsing, for a whole society that hates me. Society, you know
Yeah.
what the fuck? That sounds like a scam to me. And I'm just keeping it J real. I'm just breaking it down on some real J shit on the homies. I'm just busting it wide for the gang, and I can't really do anything else.
Yeah. I mean,
So
it's very easy to feel that you don't matter when the entirety of society says otherwise. Um, but I guarantee you, if you look at your like immediate surroundings, like your immediate town, your county, whatever, and everything that is happening like immediately around you, there's not many things that are what's the word? There's not many like immediate things around you that try to like shun off any particular, I don't know, person, male, female, race, gender, whatever. Those things don't really exist. It's all like cultural noise from like YouTube, Twitter, social media, whatever. It's very easy to feel like that. Um, I would I would guess that if you want to like actually make like a difference in some sort of capacity, get involved in your town or your county or something around you. You'd be surprised at how public a lot of the information is, and like what you can do, all the ordinances, all the surrounding laws for just making a business, land, how the mechanics of a city, how all that shit works. Um, and I don't know, maybe get involved in that. I mean, I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass because I'm not involved in any of that shit, but it's very surreal when all of the mechanics of life are like presented to you in such a public fashion. If you go out and like look to figure out, oh, this is the mechanics of I don't know, your city council and like what they decide on. Are we gonna put this money towards a park, or are we gonna try to bring in like another Starbucks to bring in more money for the general fund of the city, for whatever.
And yeah, the jobs that are good, the jobs that are real, you're framing houses, you're fixing pipes. These are great.
Yeah, like
Okay.
city maintenance jobs, maintain the city, maintain the houses around you, become an electrician, or like a public job like a nurse, police officer, firefighter, something like that, like something that maintains a city or a town.
But over a long period of time, long time horizons, if you're doing these for a while, it does take an effect on your body. which
Yeah.
is also fine as a man if you're providing for people and if you're able to take the money you make in that job and buy something. But I'm not going to destroy my body over dozens of years with no bitches and no real paper. I'm like, I'm not trying to be a bitch. Like, I really want to. It would be so dope to like be a woodworker or work with my hands and have that, mean something, and think I have prospects for having a family and buying a house with that money, but I don't. So why would I do it?
I get it.
You got to scramble for these same positions. Six figures is like in a city that used to be rich. It used to be, oh, 6 figures. Now it's just like that's how you're semi comfortable, is you have to make 6 figures.
Yeah. I mean, bro, I'm like semi comfortable making like 50K ish. I'm semi comfortable, but like I don't own a home. I live with my mom. Okay? So, I mean, that's just my situation. Like, I live with my mom, but I still have a job. I'm not an entirely a deadbeat. So, bro, if I was making like 75K, damn, I'd be swimming. I'd be swimming in it, dude. Or if I was making 6 figures with whatever job I had, oh, bro, it'd be over. Damn, dude, I can't even imagine 6K. Like, I would imagine this is more of an issue for if you live around like a more well-off city. But if you live in like in a little tiny city or some whatever the butt fuck city, I don't know. It's just I don't really feel like this, but I understand how someone could feel like this.
It's wild, and it ain't gonna stop. It's never gonna stop. The way the Fed works, when interest rates are cut, when the inflation is cut, and there's usually a seesaw there. So when the interest rates, the inflation goes up. When the inflation cut, the interest goes up. So you're fucked either way. But either way it's happening, it still gets progressively worse. It's like boiling frogs. That old adage, it's like boiling
Yeah.
frogs. If you turn it up all the way and you got the frogs in the pot, they'll jump right out of the water
Yep.
because it gets too hot too fast. You turn it up slowly, you simmer it.
Mm-hmm.
5, 6, 7, 8. The frogs don't know what's going on. It gets hotter, but imperceptibly, slowly over a long period of time. And then they're cooked. And before you know it, they're cooked. And don't get it twisted, brother. We're being cooked.
Yeah.
We are being cooked. We're being sizzled and sucked dry. Just keeping it real. Now, all this being said, I don't advocate not working. I'm just saying I get it. Because here's the deal. As a young man, you got to build skills. You got to be doing something. And the concept behind being neat, you go, oh, I'll have all this time. I'll learn important skills. I'll allocate it into things that are helpful. The problem is laziness breeds more laziness. And if you have no responsibilities, you'll find yourself not doing shit at all. And there's a balance you strike. You don't want to work too much because no one's working construction all day, then coming home and be like, let me work on my side hustle. Unless they're really grinding, but I'm not that kind of fella. I'm not, fuck that. But, if you're doing school, if you're working a job that's not too taxing, you'll actually find you have, some momentum. You're like you're on track. Whereas if you're doing nothing, it's hard to create this structure and hard work for your life with based on nothing. So, yeah, what I'm thinking, I'm gonna keep on doing these. I mean, the type of thing I do, since I'm not selling a gay course, it really doesn't make that much money at all. But I'm gonna keep on making these videos because I like doing it.
Yeah.
And in order to support myself, I will find jobs. They're not gonna pay well, but for things that I want to learn, and that's probably going to be evergreen things involving blue collar type work, working with my hands like a man. But yeah, I mean, ideally you do both, right? You'd work, you get a
I mean, and it's not like blue collar work is bad. Understandably, a lot of the times people, whenever they see like someone doing blue collar work, it's very easy for them to like look down on them, because if that wasn't the case, why do people say things like, oh, at least I'm not working at McDonald's, at least I'm not working at Walmart, and so on and so forth. Or at least I'm not a construction worker. That shit looks hard. Ugh. Um, yeah, in general, people just look down on blue collar workers. It's just what happens. And it's not like just because you have a white collar job, you're a bad guy. Because there are tons of businessmen that could also easily, be viewed as real men because they started the business. They're the CEO. They're a real man. Ugh. You can't really have it both ways. You can't be a man and have a blue collar job, and you also can't be a man and have a white collar job. All right. There's this concept of being a man is just asinine.
stable, real work job, and you'd also have something on the side, something probably online that you're trying out, that you're not fully relying on, but you're keeping that hope alive, because sometimes these things do work, and it's good to try and figure out things like this if you want to really pave a way to be financially free in this day and age. But then if you're doing that, I mean, you have very little time for coping.
Yeah. Can't really be depressed if you're always worried about some shit.
You gotta be really on that grind, that Sigma grind set. So, yeah, what else I got here? I think that's about it. Thanks for watching, y'all. God bless.
Huh. That's a good video. I liked it. I mean, honestly, this is just like a little window into, I don't know, anybody what his age is thinking, and he's just getting his thoughts out there. I like the video. I mean, he's just communicating with what he feels is going on. I mean, as far as young men not working, it's just a feel thing, man. Nobody is out here saying like don't work. Like, yeah, you should probably find a job, something that you can tolerate. But yeah, there's just so much to like talk about, honestly. But overall, I think it was a good video. It was good watching it, and I hope to see more. But other than that, good stuff, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.